Every single day, 46 people die from a prescription overdose, and many are asking what our officials are prepared to do next. I'm Kendall Lewis.
And I'm Kylie Rice. The latest credit card scam may cost you at the pumps. Coming up, we'll tell you how you can beat the cheats before you swipe your card.
These stories and more on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
Painkiller overdoses kill more than one American every hour.
And here in West Virginia, drug wholesalers shipped 780 million hydrocodone and oxycodone pills in the past 6 years alone.
Noelle Ford joins us now in the studio with more. Noelle?
Thanks, Kylie. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin is now calling for the repeal of a bill that passed unanimously in Congress last year, a bill that weakens the Drug Enforcement Administration's power in the courtroom. Last year, opioid deaths rose by 540% over 3 years. And on the heels of Senator Manchin's statement, President Trump recently declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency. But is this announcement enough to address the escalating epidemic of drug use across America? I hit the streets to find out. Some good news in the war against drugs. On Saturday, Senator Manchin praised the DEA in sending one of 6 new drug enforcement teams to Charleston to help combat the flow of opioids in the Mountain State.
Thanks, Noelle, for that report. In 2016, opioids caused 64,000 deaths from abuse, but abusing irresponsibility on the road can be just as deadly. Every year in the U.S., almost 500,000 people are injured or killed in traffic accidents due to texting and driving. In fact, the National Safety Council reports that 1 out of every 4 car accidents in America is caused by texting and driving. Leanne Schinkel joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Leanne?
Cell phone use while texting and driving can make vehicle accidents 23 times more likely to occur. And if that isn't enough to put your phone down and keep your eyes on the road, consider this. Texting while driving is against the law in West Virginia. Offenders can face hefty fines and up to 3 points on their license. In 2013, the year after the texting and driving law went into place, the number of fatal car accidents in West Virginia was the 2nd lowest number to date. In fact, the DMV is crediting distracted driving legislation to the 18% decrease in roadway fatalities in West Virginia. Kendall, back to you at the Waterfront studio.
Thanks, Leanne. Most of us don't think twice about swiping our card and pumping gas, but experts say beware. Credit card skimmers are smaller and popping up at gas stations throughout the Mountain State. I found out what you can do to protect yourself and your bank account. Now we'd like to take your attention to the skies, a point of focus for many in the area last week, both from the ground and on social media. Facebook was brimming with images of hot air balloons that soared overhead for 3 days.
Balloons Over Morgantown is an annual event that encourages social media users to track where they see balloons in the sky and post them to the event's official Facebook page for others to see and track as well. Megan Guerra joins us now from Social Square to tell us more. Megan?
This year's Balloons Over Morgantown Festival saw ideal weather for flight. It was a weekend filled with 14 balloons returning to Morgantown for 5 launches over our beautiful city. And some residents were stunned when their backyards became landing zones, but spirits soared regardless. Our own Kylie Rice went to the airfield to bring us the view. That was Kylie Rice reporting. Event sponsors say they are continuously working to make the event bigger and better for next year. They want a new venue to host a full festival, additional parking for spectators, and of course, more balloons. To find out more, you can visit their website at the bottom of your screen.
Thanks, Megan. Inspiration came in many forms over the past week. Coming up after the break, we'll take you on a walk to raise breast cancer awareness.
But first, Ryan Decker tells us about the chemistry that's taking the Mountaineer football team to new heights. The recent success of wide receivers here in Morgantown have some fans referring to our institution as TIUU, Throw It Up University.
That's right, Kylie. Tavon Austin and Stedman Bailey had Geno Smith. Kevin White had Clint Trickett. Sports anchor Isaac Farabee has more.
Thanks, Kendall. And now there's another duo putting up big numbers on the field. Those combinations over the years have helped the WVU football team rise to the level it currently enjoys. A good relationship between a quarterback and a wide receiver is a priceless addition to an offensive strategy and a must for any football team with their eyes set on a winning season. Here at WVU, the newest pairing of a potentially great quarterback and wide receiver comes in the form of current quarterback Will Grier and former gunslinger David Sills. Sports reporter Ryan Decker headed to Milan Puskar Stadium to find the source of the quarterback connection. Will Grier has brought the team over 2,700 yards so far this season, and almost 800 of those were brought down by David Sills. With numbers like these, it's understandable how Mountaineer fans have equally high hopes for for the last 4 games of the regular season. Kendall, back to you.
Thanks, Isaac. Teamwork can mean the difference both on and off the field. While the Mountaineers fight for distance, some rely on unity in their fight to survive.
Our very own Janae Avery went to see a very large team in action at the Making Strides Breast Cancer Walk, held right here at WVU's Evansdale campus. Those women certainly have our thoughts and support. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also follow our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Kendall Lewis.
And I'm Kylie Rice. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
The culture, the history, the people of Appalachia. Who and what is making a positive impact in the heart of Trump country? I'm Kendall Lewis.
And I'm Patrick Clark. In this special edition of WVU News, we'll examine issues uplifting our state.
From a multi-billion-dollar deal to a company who truly believes in second chances and an industry getting a boost from a famous song.
These stories and more on this edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, a story of hope.
West Virginia shale, gas, and chemical manufacturing industries are looking at an $84 billion upsurge that will take effect over the next 20 years.
That's right, Kendall. It's part of a $250 billion deal between China and the U.S., and for residents, it means thousands of new jobs. I went out to learn what else this deal might bring to the Mountain State. Not only will West Virginia profit from this deal, but the Appalachian region will see many benefits as well. There's no word on when construction will start.
But West Virginia Secretary of Commerce Wood Thrasher expects work to begin around this time next year.
What if your past puts you at a disadvantage? Around 100 million Americans have a criminal history, but after they've paid their debt to society, many find the struggle continues.
But reporter Leanne Schenkel found one West Virginia company that's giving these workers a second chance. She joins us now in the studio with more. Leanne?
Thanks, Kendall. Surveys show that 92% of employers run criminal background checks on prospective hires. Title VII prevents discrimination but does not prohibit employers from conducting background checks before an offer of employment is made. But a local company is looking past convictions. According to the Office of Research and Strategic Planning, West Virginia has the second fastest growing prison population, a population that will one day need to seek out employment. But the Ziegenfelder Ice Pop Factory believes that just because you're out of trouble does not mean you should be out of work. Experts say a criminal record can decrease a person's chance of receiving a job offer by almost 50%. The good news is that some states now have laws that forbid disqualifying candidates based on solely their criminal record. But as of now, West Virginia is not among those states.
Thanks, Leanne, for that report. Uncertainty in the job market is a major concern no matter your past, but being a coal miner in America is still a lucrative career, with an average salary of $60,000 compared to the average wage of workers in the United States at around $44,000 a year. And where do many of these miners receive top-notch training? Megan Guerra joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Megan?
Mention Sago or Upper Big Branch Mine to any West Virginia coal miner and they'll tell you how the industry and the role of mine rescue teams has changed since both of those disasters. And that's where West Virginia University's Academy for Mine Training and Energy Technologies comes in. Their facility is one of 2 in the state that offers live fire training in an underground atmosphere. And with more than 50,000 coal mines scattered across the nation, this is where many coal miners go to receive their mine safety training. The Academy has hosted both skills competitions and mine emergency response drills for coal mines. The facility has trained miners from 11 states and several foreign countries. Back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Megan. Coal has been a cornerstone of West Virginia's commerce for decades, but our next story takes a look at a tradition that is also a reliable economic stimulus and has roots deeper than any mine.
According to the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources, more than 350,000 hunters will head to the woods this season. It's a practice that has brought an estimated $270 million to the state.
Kylie Rice joins us now from Social Square to tell us more. Kylie?
West Virginia boasts over 24,000 square miles of hills and valleys, making conditions ideal for a sport steeped in tradition and culture. The skills that go along with hunting and prepping the deer are passed down over generations, and as our very own Kendall Lewis found out, these customs unite locals in a common heritage. Here in West Virginia, hunting has created more than 5,000 jobs, and the millions of dollars generated every year circulates in rural areas. Venison is also a mainstay for many families. When deer season is over, the winter meat is processed and packed away in the freezer to enjoy all year long.
Thanks, Kylie. Many who seek refuge often turn to the outdoors. Here in West Virginia, we are blessed with an abundance of natural beauty, and one organization is harnessing nature and animals for a good cause.
This year, more children will be diagnosed with autism than AIDS, diabetes, and cancer combined. On Eagle's Wings is an organization that specializes in helping people with disabilities through equine therapy. Reporter Janae Avery has more.
Seeing one program have such an impact on so many lives is truly inspiring.
I agree, Kendall. Well, after the break, sports reporter Ryan Decker tells us about one WVU athlete's transition from the turf to the court.
And we'll discuss how the official theme song of WVU, Country Roads, is now a part of Mountain State tradition in a whole new way.
Welcome back to our special edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, a story of hope.
Every athlete at West Virginia University has come a long way to prove their talent in their sport, but many found themselves in more than one form of competition along the way.
Sports anchor Ryan Decker joins us now to discuss a WVU player who found a passion for two major sports in high school. Ryan?
Thanks, Patrick. Growing up in the town of Cameron, West Virginia, Logan Rout was easy to spot. He stood a head taller than most of his neighbors, but also hovered above the competition, then as a quarterback and now as center for the Mountaineer men's basketball team. Rout is now a redshirt sophomore, and although he stands at 6'11", the only way to go is up. While the jersey and the stakes have changed, his dedication to his home state and the spirit of competition have not. Logan told me that in a twist of fate, he scored the 1,000th point of his high school career against now teammate Chase Harler. It's a continuing trend as Rout has already racked up more points this season than he did in the entire 2016-17 campaign. The Mountain State native is certainly one for Mountaineer fans to keep an eye on. Our final story concerns those beyond Mountaineer Nation, indeed anyone with a soft spot for all things wild and wonderful. True to its lyrics, Country Roads has at last come home. Sports reporter Elizabeth Haynes explains. Elizabeth?
The West Virginia Tourism Office announced that it has obtained the rights to use John Denver's Take Me Home Country Roads in marketing efforts. This comes after a legacy of almost half a century as WVU's theme song. I went out to see what this song really means to the people of West Virginia. Country Roads was adopted by the Mountaineers in 1972. Only a year after its release, John Denver changed some of the words to Appalachian Mountains, Monongahela River, a way of thanking locals for the warm reception his song received.
What an uplifting story, Elizabeth. It seems every day as a Mountaineer is better than the last.
Yes, it is, Patrick. And every time I hear that song, I get goosebumps. Well, that's going to do it for our special edition of WVU News, Inside Appalachia, a story of hope. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Patrick Clark.
And I'm Kendall Lewis. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.